All right, so this problem asks us, by the way, it's number 423 uh, on out of the textbook. This problem asks us to use source transforms to help us find I and V in the 8 ohm resistor. All right, so let's first denote that we want to find I, and we also want to find V. Okay, so all we need to do is figure out what the current is, and once we know the current there, we could easily determine what the voltage is. All right, so it wants us to use source transforms. So let's first find the most obvious one, and it's really a good idea to be able to find obvious source transforms when they exist. Sometimes they help. All right, so the most obvious one is over here on the left. You have a 3 amp source with a 10 ohm parallel resistor, and so we find a new voltage source for that, which is 3 times 10, which is 30 volts. Resistor is now in series but retains the same value. This is an 8 ohm, and then we have this fella here, and this is a 3 ohm. This is a 15 volt. And this one was 6 ohms. All right, so now we want to find the next obvious source transformation. This one is a nice one because what it will do once we do this is it'll put this 3 ohm in parallel with the 6, so that way we could take it back to a voltage source, and that would make our lives better. All right, so we can now replace this by taking 15 divided by 3, which is 5 amps, and this is in parallel with the 3 ohm resistor, all right, which is in parallel with a 6 ohm resistor, and then we have an 8 ohm resistor and a 10 ohm resistor with a voltage source. All right, so what we want to, as I just kind of mentioned, now this 6 and this 3 are in parallel. 6 in parallel with 3 is equal to 2 ohms. All right, so then I can use that combined with this current source and take it back, make this my next obvious choice for a source transformation. And it's going to be the same circuit on the left where we have 30 volts and 10 ohms and 8 ohms. But now we're going to have a 2 ohm. All right, and then we're going to have a voltage source which has a value 2 times 5, which is 10 volts. All right, so now if I can just find I, then I can also find V. All right, and this is a series circuit, so we can add these together, or actually just do KVL. We get minus 30 plus 10 plus 8 plus 2 I plus 10 volts equals 0. So we'll have 20I is equal to 20. I has to be equal to 1 amp. All right, and then I said I and V. I also want power. All right, V, by the way, would just be equal to 8 times I, which is equal to 8 times 1, which is equal to 8 volts. All right, and then P, which is VI, is just equal to 8 times 1, which is equal to 8 watts. All right, and if I draw a pretty box, then we will be all set. All right, so that's our full solution to this particular example.